Welcome to Breslov Insights. We're reading Rebbe Nachman's advice. We're on barriers 4. There are people who, after a whole lifetime of materialism, suddenly feel a strong desire to walk in the path of Hashem. The attribute of judgment then rises up to accuse them. It tries to prevent them from following the way of Hashem by creating barriers. The unintelligent person, when he sees these barriers, starts to retreat. But somebody with understanding takes this as a very signal that he should draw closer. He understands that Hashem is to be found in the barrier itself. The truth is that Hashem himself is indeed hidden in this barrier. 5. It may take a lot of effort for a person to break the barriers confronting him when he starts to draw closer to God. Many people experience opposition from their parents or parents-in-laws, and their wives, and so on. But all their effort produces a vessel. Within this vessel, he can receive the holiness and purity he will attain thereafter. The greater the struggle one has at the outset, the greater the vessel one forms. And in the end, he will be worthy of true fear of Hashem, and he will receive abundant blessings and goodness. He will be worthy of giving perfection to the holy name of God, because the essence of its perfection is founded on religious awe. 6. The way to begin serving Hashem is to imagine there is no one in the entire world except for you. Pay no attention to anybody who puts obstacles in your way, whether it is your father or your mother, your in-laws, your wife, your children, or anybody else. There are certain people who can make things difficult for you through ridiculing you or offering temptations and so on. Pay not the slightest attention to any of them. It is written that Avram was one. Avram was alone. You must also be alone, as if you were the only one in the world. 7. People often imagine that the barriers they experience in their efforts to serve God are so great that they will never be able to break them. But this is not true. No one is ever confronted with barriers he cannot break, if he really wants to. Hashem only sends a person obstacles that are within his capacity to overcome, if he is really determined enough. If he thinks about it carefully, he will realize that the obstacle is really a veil for Hashem himself. In reality, there is no obstacles at all. They are simply an illusion. 8. The greatest barriers of all are those in the mind. The heart is slippery. People do not concentrate their entire heart and mind on the true importance of what they need to achieve. For example, when somebody wants to travel to the tzaddik and starts experiencing difficulties, if he really concentrated his whole heart and mind in the fact that his entire life and being, and that all his descendants depend on his reaching his goal, nothing in the world could stop him. None of the barriers would be of any significance at all in his eyes. And the main barrier is that people are not firm in their own minds. A person may have reached the tzaddik in spite of all the obstacles, but if some little doubt then arises in his mind, in his heart, begins to falter as a result, this is the biggest obstacle of all. The same is true of prayer. There are many barriers to prayer. A person may succeed in overcoming all of them in praying as he should, but once doubts about Hashem or about the tzaddikim arise in his crookedness of his heart, this is the worst obstacle of all. The way to fight it is to cry out to God with a voice which rises from the very depths of the heart. 9. The main thing is that your heart should be strong and firm. Then nothing at all will stop you. Certainly not material difficulties, financial difficulties, or opposition from your wife or children, your parents or your in-laws, and the ridicule of other people in their attempts to persuade you otherwise. None of these will have any power at all if your heart is firm and strong in Hashem. 10. When a person's heart is firm, there is nowhere in the world that he cannot serve Hashem. There is never an excuse to say that in a certain place it is impossible to serve God. When a person's heart is strong, all the places in the world belong to him. Thanks, and we'll continue tomorrow.